Greetings and welcome back everyone. If you like these daily crypto analysis videos, hit the like button and subscribe. Please share these videos with your friends to help the channel grow. I'm CryptoSnake, back again to discuss some Bitcoin analysis. Today I want to cover why I think Bitcoin may actually be on the brink of a massive move and which direction I think it will actually go. Starting out on the 4-hour chart, the price peaked out on this lower pennant target I had drawn out of the 3 pennant targets that I do have drawn out. Each of these targets represents a possible location for the top of the pennant based on previous peaks. But we came up here and tested the lower and then broke back down pretty aggressively, returning down to the 4-hour key Kijun, which we are now testing and breaking through slightly on. If we take a look back at the Chiku span, the Chiku span also was rejected off of this price position at 65.35 and is now breaking down rather aggressively, potentially to strike through this price range. On the RSI, we were also rejected off of the 64 level, the RSI being the relative strength index, indicating when we're overbought or oversold. Right now we are in the overbought territory, so we are very likely to pull back to the mean or possibly complete the RSI cycle, striking down to the 30. So right now we are testing some support at 56. If we were to break through this level, we are likely to drop down to the next support zone, which is down at 45, which would be a fairly sizable drop. From the bullish perspective, this could quite possibly be a bull flag. However, we are very likely to be breaking this bull flag formation out at this point. It's not a very structured bull flag, but if it is a bull flag, we would take the flagpole and then extend it up, which would bring us up to around the 66.75 or so area, which would break us through this first upper pennant target and give us a chance to strike this next pennant target, which is at 67.50. The SAR on the 4-hour is moving bullish, but we also are moving just above this 4-hour cloud, which if we break into it would be absolutely bearish, so we'll have to see where this candle leads us. Moving down to the 1-hour chart, we do actually have some more bearish trends. We are moving for a possible bearish TK crossover, which we have achieved on the 30-minute timer as well, time frame as well. We do have bearish SAR dots indicating a trend reversal forming on the hourly. If this forms on the 4-hour, I will be convinced that we are at least dropping back to the daily Kijun, which I'll address in just a moment. The RSI on the hourly chart is having trouble breaking back into this 55 resistance, which was previous support. And now the Chiku span is moving into the price. It is actually dropping down towards the price, below the price, so it may actually strike through around here, indicating a bearish reversal and signs that it will dump a lot further. But if it does break up back into the price, it indicates that we are moving for a very large move in either direction. Now, if this bull flag plays out, that would be the bullish perspective. But after pumping for so long, I would not be surprised if the bulls were exhausted and we broke down into a bearish trend from here. Moving back to our daily chart on Bitcoin, we did post another daily candle. We are still heavily separated from the daily Kijun of about a 1% drop, which would indicate that we are very likely to pull back to this 65.42 level. But we could also quite possibly grow another percent or so, which would lead us out to this bull flag position before being pulled back. A bullish SAR dot also posted on this daily candle, which means we are forming some support at the 64.81, which would very likely stop us from dropping heavily unless it is an actual long squeeze. Now, if the price breaks down below this 65.40 level and actually finishes a candle below, I would not be surprised to see a bearish SAR dot form above and for us to break down and continue down all the way down to this 62.50 level before finding any sort of support. But before I go into why it's a little bit confusing which direction we may be headed from here, as a lot of the market is pulling bullish. Before I get on with the rest of my technical analysis and price targets, if you'd like to join my free Telegram for insights on the market, including Bitcoin, altcoins, and a sneak peek to my personal entries and exits, join t.me/CryptoSnakePit. Links directly to the chat and a link on how to install Telegram, which is a free chat program I use to communicate with my VIPs, in the description below. I've also launched my official Twitter, so follow me at CryptoSnakeVIP to get regular updates. We've been pulling some solid gains in the VIP this month on leverage trades and altcoins, but here's a preview of the gains we made last month. I'm also getting pumped for this looming bull run. I've given out a list of potentially discount altcoins I plan to ride for the bull run to my VIPs, as well as some hot altcoin swing positions every week. If you want information on how to get into the VIP group to be part of these trades, the information is also in the description below. So I want to cover a CoinDesk article that actually enforces what I'm going to lay out a little later in the video, which is the absolute volatility of Bitcoin and why I think we are going to break down or up with massive force from this position. Bitcoin's price volatility just hit another 15-month low. Now, while this indicator does support my market trend theory that we are coming to the end and moving for a potential bull run, I don't think it's exactly just yet. I think very, very soon. possibly another 2 weeks to a month. But the fact that our volatility is reducing in size is either very, very good news or very, very bad news. Now, a lot of the market thinks that we could break down to 3,600, 3,200. Some of the market thinks we could break up. Personally, I'm leaning towards the market trend cycle that we will break up from this position. Now, on the choppiness index, we are actually up at one of the highest points that we've been, indicating that we are definitely moving for a massive break from this position, which again coincides with this upper pennant target that they actually have mapped out as well. So if we were to break down from this, it would likely take us down to the 6,200 level. Now back to the Bitcoin chart really fast. If we were to break through this pennant target, in fact, any of these pennant targets, and break up from this, it would definitely skyrocket us. But I don't see that happening yet. I think we're going to break down from this, squeeze into this very narrow range before breaking out for the rest of the year. Some more bullish news for the space as well is that IBM's Food Blockchain is going live with a supermarket giant on board. Now I find this article kind of interesting. This isn't the first time that IBM has been interested in the blockchain network, but food production is actually one of the biggest industries in the world because you have to feed the world's population, especially for the larger countries, to be able to feed their populations. And there's a lot of mismanagement that goes on within that. So attaching the blockchain to that, something to verify transactions, is a very interesting real world use for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, etc. So I think overall this is yet another bullish story for the space, and just another reason that I believe the bull run is coming, and it is going to be absolutely massive this time. Now I want to go ahead and switch back to the Bitcoin longs and address the elephant in the room, which right now is the fact that the Bitcoin longs are hitting a lot of resistance up at this level. And if we go down to the 4 hour, we are heavily overextended on the 4 hour RSI, which normally leads to what's called a long squeeze, which would indicate that the price would drop very rapidly as people exit their long positions and take profit in this position. Now with Bitcoin's price currently falling, a lot of these long positions may close now for profit, causing a massive dump in the Bitcoin price. If we take a look back on the RSI level for Bitcoin previously on these longs, this drop normally happens between the 78 to 84 range. But what's very interesting about this potential long squeeze that could be occurring, and it does actually look like we may be plateauing here to complete this long squeeze and break back down, is actually on the Bitcoin shorts. The Bitcoin shorts are actually overextended just as much, possibly slightly less. We're sitting at about 75 instead of 78. But historically, we would break down anywhere between the 77 to 81 area. Now, if we have a long squeeze followed by a short squeeze, we're definitely going to have some crazy erratic price action. And if we take a look back at the daily candles, this candle back here, I believe, was the instance of this happening, where we wicked all the way down to the 61.34 and then shot immediately back up within about 10 minutes, straight back up to 6,400. We could see a very similar candle here. Now it depends what breaks first. If we have a long squeeze that drives the price down to the Kijun-sen, possibly further through, we could have a short squeeze which would prop the price back up, and we would very likely just trend sideways from there into this daily cloud. But if we have a short squeeze first and the price moves upwards to test this 67.40 or so resistance towards the upper pennant targets, we could strike that, meet heavy resistance, and then break down into the long squeeze with a lot more force and see a very large dip very quickly as this price returns back down, and see the 6,200 level possibly within 1 or 2 candles. So either way we look at it, the price is going to have some heavy action here soon. It may be up, it may be down, it may be down then up, or it may be up and then down. Either way, this position is currently very volatile. Right now I am leaning bearish and I am expecting the price to break down. But let's go ahead and take a look at the market health real quick. The altcoin market, most of the alts are actually rising up right now, 2 to 5%, some of them increasing even further than that. The cryptocurrency market cap did rise about $3 billion on that last pump from the bull flag that I laid out in the previous video, and Bitcoin dominance has remained pretty much the same, still within that 52 to 53% area. We're not seeing a whole lot of movement, which is again another reason that I believe a very large movement is very likely to happen. Just to overview again where I think Bitcoin might go, I am leaning bearish. I do believe we are going to come back to test at least the daily Kijun-sen. I think long term we are definitely going to break down from this position to the lower pennant targets, which I'll switch to the other chart to see, just because of where we are in this pennant position and how heavily extended we are off of this support indicates to me that we are more likely to break down than up. But we definitely are going to see some massive movement here in the next day or so. That's it for today's technical analysis. If you do make any trades today, I wish you luck. Please join me in my free Telegram at t.me/cryptosnakepit, where I give up-to-the-minute updates on Bitcoin and my personal exits and entries for the private VIP group. Also included is our private VIP chat, where you can chat with many of our experienced savage traders, get personal technical analysis from me, and answer any questions you might have. This is Crypto Snake, signing off.